What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and I wish I had some good news to tell you guys about the latest meeting between the owners and the players. I wish I could come on here and say that baseball is back, but unfortunately, they are nowhere near a deal. In fact, the meeting that happened on Tuesday this week actually did nothing. Nothing got done, no new proposals from either side. Literally nothing happened. We are at the point now where it is wildly unlikely that we are going to get any spring training at all, and probably won't get an opening day game either, which is wildly unfortunate because I actually got tickets from my lovely girlfriend for opening day, and I've been looking forward to that all off season, and it's probably not going to happen anymore, which is very upsetting to say the least. But anyways, we are going to carry on here because I'm not stopping content anytime soon, so I hope you guys don't stop watching it anytime soon. And on today's video, we are going to become both Alex Cora and Chaim Bloom and try and figure out how we can improve the Red Sox defense. Last year in 2021, they finished in the bottom third of all MLB teams in defensive rating. And honestly, I think there are some minor adjustments that the Red Sox can make that would make this defense a whole lot better without taking away a ton of offense. But before we get into any of that, do me a favor, if you've not already, hit that subscribe button for me. It would mean a whole lot to me. And also make sure that you guys have hit the like button as well. It helps out these videos a ton. And in a time where there is no baseball, getting likes on these videos and helping them get out there would mean a whole lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this video. Let's get into it. Alright, so the way I think we're going to do this is I'm going to go through each glaring position, in my opinion, that really needs to be switched up and come up with a solution that makes everybody happy. So we're going to go through position by position here. And the first position I want to talk about, because I think it's the easiest one to fix, is third base. Rafael Devers had 22 errors over 151 games this year, and that put his fielding percentage at .950. Now, the only way, in my opinion, that we can improve this defensively is by just simply waiting. Over Rafael Devers' career, where he's playing third base full-time, he's gradually been improving that fielding percentage, and those errors are coming down a lot. And you can kind of tell when he's out there. He looks a lot more comfortable. He's got great range and a great arm, and I really think he's coming together as a third baseman. To take him out of the lineup would be wildly stupid, so in my opinion, the best thing to do at third base is to just simply wait until Rafael Devers fully hits his stride at third base. I wouldn't be surprised if next season he comes out and he does super well at that position. Now on to the next position I want to talk about, and that's going to be right field. As much as I loved Hunter Renfroe out there throwing absolute piss missiles into the bases and throwing guys out at third or at home, there were a lot more times during the year where he would go to throw a ball in, miss the cutoff man, and either a runner will go from first to second or third to home, or he'll try and throw the guy out at home instead of just going for the simple out at second. Now, these obviously are things that would cost you runs and would cost you games in the long run. And again, this is a wildly simple fix because Hunter Renfroe is no longer on the team. In my opinion, yes, Alex Verdugo had a tough time in center last year, but he did fairly well in right and left field because he did bounce around in that outfield a little bit. And in my opinion, if you are going to put Alex Verdugo full-time in right field, allow him to learn the nooks and crannies, the way the ball carries, the way the ball moves out there, he would do really well out there, and I think he's going to in 2022. So again, right field, another hole in 2021 that's probably going to be plugged on its own in 2022. The next position I want to talk about is actually a very interesting one, and that is left field. The only outfield position that I do not have on here actually is center field, mostly because we got Jackie and Duran out there, so I'm not entirely concerned with the defense in center field. But left field is an entirely different story. The three guys we saw out there more often than not were Verdugo, Schwarber, and Martinez. And obviously Martinez would only play in away stadiums, but still I'm going to add him in there. Schwarber and Martinez, you know what you're going to get from these guys, right? they're not known for their fielding. They were never known for their fielding. So you're sacrificing that fielding ability for that offensive powerhouse in the box. And honestly, in that position, the only real scenario I could see where the Red Sox legitimately plug up that hole in left field is by going out and getting Seiya Suzuki. Now, Seiya Suzuki is not a superstar outfielder like a Byron Buxton or a Ronald Acuna, but he is fairly good and good enough to man that position well, while also including a power bat. So in my opinion, the way you fix the defensive problem in left field is to ensure that we get Seiya Suzuki and throw him out there. Let him learn the Green Monster. Let him learn all the nooks and crannies of left field and see how he does, because we don't know yet, and he did fairly well in Japan. Now, the final position I want to talk about today, and I really do think is the last position on the Red Sox that is a glaring defensive hole, and I'll talk about why I don't think the others are in a second, but that's first base. As much as I love Bobby Dahlbeck, he was not a fantastic first baseman. In fact, he wasn't very good at all at first base. He had his moments where he did very well, but there were a lot of moments where he probably should have or could have made the play and didn't. And the other times when we had another player at first base, we had Kyle Schwarber, who had never played first base in his life. So I'm not exactly going to hold it against the guy for not being a fantastic defensive first baseman. Again, you're kind of giving up that position to be able to have that bat in the lineup. And honestly, a first baseman, you kind of want a guy who can at least field the position fairly well. And in my opinion, I really do think Bobby Dahlbeck will grow into being a good defensive first baseman. Again, this was his first big league season. You can't expect the guy to come out here and be a superstar athlete his first season. I understand that a lot of guys were, but also a lot of those guys fizzled out. It's nice when you have a guy who can learn from his mistakes and become a better first baseman. Now, that being said, we also have Tristan Casas coming up. I'm not entirely sure how fantastic he will be at first base, but there's always that option to go to if Bobby or if we get Schwarber back don't do very well. I think there's a very big difference between a guy who hits 245 with 25 home runs and 38 RBIs, but doesn't do well on the field, and a guy who hits 240 with 20 bombs and 76 RBIs and does really well on the field. I would personally rather have the second guy than the first guy. Those are the big positions that I think the Red Sox really need to fill this offseason. The reason I'm not going to say shortstop is because I really do still believe in Xander Bogaerts. I know he doesn't have that range, but to be honest with you, I've never in my life been, even last season when people were like, oh, he's getting old, it's time to move him out there. Whenever a ball was hit his way, I was never like, oh God, here's the ball hit to Xander Bogaerts. Heaven knows what he's going to do, you know? That was mostly Schwarber or JD or one of those other guys for me. Then obviously second base is probably our strongest position. I mentioned center field, which is definitely our strongest position, but at second base, you've got Christian Arroyo currently, and you also have Kike Hernandez, who are both fairly decent defensive players, decent enough that they would do pretty well at second base full time if either of them took over that position. And finally, obviously, the catcher position is well taken care of. Christian Vasquez has always been a decent defending catcher, and Kevin Plawecki is also a decent fielding catcher, so I don't think we really have to worry about those other positions. If the Red Sox can take care of the couple main positions that I mentioned, I really do think this would be a well-rounded, great team that would beat most other teams in the league. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about my defensive changes? Would you do what I've done? Would you do something different? Is there a position I'm missing that you think really needs attention to? Let me know everything down below. Also, if you guys have any content ideas, is there an idea you say, hey, I really wish Red Seat Radio would cover blank, blank, and blank? Let me know what that is down below. I'd love to take a look at some of your guys' stuff. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor and make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button. You clearly appreciate the content, and it would mean a whole lot to me. Also, make sure along the same lines, you guys have hit that like button as well. The like button really helps out YouTube videos, so it would mean a whole lot to me if you could hit that. Thank you all very much for clicking on this video, and I will see you in the next one.